request Swami Chinmay Pandya ji to bless us with his teaching.
Dhanyavad Tiwari ji. After Adarni Trivaji has actually blazed this side of the podium, I am convinced that this is actually tall people's podium on this side. Allow me to start with the recitation of the Gayatri Mantra. Gayatri, as you all know, is the center of the Vedic philosophy and culture. And she is also considered as the divine force behind the whole creation and the motherly power that guides us to the righteous path. And in the context of the International Day of Yoga celebrations, I think the significance of the Gayatri Mantra becomes magnanimous, because the Gayatri is a very unique mantra. The word Gayatri itself actually comes from two Sanskrit words. Gayah means prana, Trayah means tran. Tran means to protect. The power that protects the prana is called Gayatri. And the Gayatri Mantra is dedicated to Savita, Tat Savitur Varenyam we say. And the word Savita has come from the Sanskrit word Prasava. Prasava means to give birth. Savita Sarvasya Prasavita. And it's very unique that we have got 101 synonyms for sun in Sanskrit. Surya, Aditya, Divakar, Prabhakar, Udgit, Martand. They all have got masculine connotation. Only Savita has got the feminine connotation. So we are asking that power which has given birth to the full existence, and because the International Day of Yoga comes on the summer solstice, it's a day dedicated to Bhagwan Surya Savita. I think this is one of the prarthana, one of the abhyarthana that is absolutely appropriate for the Bhagwan Surya on the International Day of Yoga. So I would request everyone to join me in chanting the Gayatri Mantra. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodaya. In the subtle presence of Param Puj Gurudev, Paramandaniya Mataji, I would like to start by greeting those seated on the dais, Honorable Chairperson, Adarniya Shri Tiwari ji, Adarniya Hansa ji, my dear esteemed speakers, Dr. Baswa Reddy ji, Dr. Gangadhar ji, Dr. Rosie, Dr. Satyapal Singh ji, Dr. Taneja, and all the dignitaries present from different walks of the life, dear brothers and sisters. I was going to actually speak on the research aspects of the yoga and mental health, because as a trained psychiatrist, having lived in London for 9 years of my life and worked in Charing Cross Hospital, this was my job. But yesterday one of my fellow speakers actually asked me that as a trained psychiatrist, as a professional psychiatrist, if rather than speaking about the clinical connotations and rather than speaking about the research dimensions, if I can speak about the philosophical concept, that how yoga and mental health could be perceived in a philosophical dimension, then that may be most suitable. So I am going to speak impromptu on that dimension, and to lay the foundation of yoga and mental health, I would like to start by sharing a story that comes in the Vigyan Bhawan, one of the founding scriptures of Tantra and Yoga in India, that is based on the discussion between Lord Shiva and Ma Parvati. So in the Vigyan Bhairav, Ma Parvati presents a question to Bhagwan Shiva, and he answers in a metaphorical manner. And one of the questions she asks, which is actually she is asking because she is saddened by the plight of every human soul, and she asks that why each and every soul on this planet is suffering from pain and sorrow, and what is the process of salvation? How one can liberate themselves from this relentless process of starting the life with hope and excitement and ending the life with despair and dejection. How? What is the process? And Bhagwan Shiv, Lord Shiv answers in a wonderfully metaphorical manner. He says, at the beginning, I divided every soul into two halves. I kept one half with me and I left other to take births. That's it. That's the whole answer. But if you listen carefully, you would just about get the message. What he is trying to say, that every soul is incomplete, and we are trying to find completeness in another incomplete soul. And two incomplete cannot make one complete. When we are searching for happiness in other, we forget that they are also searching for happiness in us. And if we had it, we would not be searching it on the first place. जब हम लोग पूर्णता के लिए दूसरे के पास जा रहे हैं, भूल जाते हैं कि वो भी अधूरे हैं. यदि वो पूरे होते तो हमें तलाश करने की आवश्यकता नहीं होती. And that is the problem. This wonderful metaphor actually conveys to us that the sense of completion can only be accomplished by uniting with the other half that lies with the divine, and that is the meaning and definition and the purpose of the yoga, the unification between the individual and the cosmic consciousness. That is the real definition of the yoga. And the gist of the message is that to reach to the absolute harmony, to reach to this state of mental harmony, equipoise, balance inside, we need to travel beyond us. We need to travel towards the ultimate, towards the divine, towards the perfection. And unfortunately, all the travel that we have done together as mankind, as humanity, have only been an outward journey, a journey that could provide us comfort, but not the contentment. When we are running after the matter, we forget that what we would get after running after the matter is material, that is mortal, that is perishable, that is transient, that is something that can only be taken away from our hands. एक दिन तो हमारे हाथ से छूटना ही. That is what we are running after. And unfortunately, because of that when we are running after the things that are of absolute transient value, we forget that the path to the happiness, the path to the stability, the path to the divinity, the path to the perfection is not in the material, but it is in the consciousness, it is inside us. And that's why when we look around us, we find many people, diseased individuals, unstable minds, broken families, social disparity, fractured societies, misdirected educational system, angry climate. There are a number of problems, but the root cause of all the problem remains the same, that we have convinced ourselves that somehow we can continue amassing unequal amount of wealth but ignoring the inner richness and we would have the contentment. That's not possible. That's not possible. So when I am talking about yoga and mental health, I do not want to only focus about the statistics and figures. Everyone knows that. I worked as a psychiatrist for 9 years. I know that depression is rising, mental health issues are rising, and we do not really need to look into British Journal of Psychiatry or Advanced Clinical Treatments or any of these journals. We just need to ask ourselves that are we happy? And we would know the answer. We are not happy. And I think in this short time that's been allocated to me, I only want to talk about two things. One, what is the root cause of all the problems? मेरी दृष्टि में इन सारी समस्याओं का मूल क्या है और how you can provide a solution. And I think the main reason why we see so much frustration, despondency, dejection, confusion, depression, anxiety, all these problems is because the journey has been incomplete and misdirected. We think that if we can have n number of objects for external satisfaction, then we could have contentment. And now, ironically, when we have got enormous amount of objects of external satisfaction, and still the gratification, contentment, sanctity inside, the tranquility inside, that continues to elude us. We are still committed, we are going to walk on the same path. And that is stupidity, that's idiocy. We cannot have the contentment by walking on that path blindly that we have selected for ourselves. I remember a story reading of a great Indian king who wanted to conquer the whole of the world, and he had already conquered half of the world. आधी दुनिया जीत भी चुका था. And then his guru, his master said that bring one yogi and I would like to meet him. So he met one yogi and he said that you need to come with me. So he said, I will come with you, but who are you? So he said, I am Chakravarti, like great king, and I have done so and so. He said, what did you do to be called Chakravarti? And he said, I conquered half of the world, I am going to conquer the rest of it. He said, what are you going to do when you have conquered the whole of the world? He said, I would have a huge mansion. He said, and then? He said, then I would have number of servants. He said, and then? He said, then I would have number of jewelry and all these things, all the articles of satisfaction. He said, imagine you had all of that, what you going to do is the last thing. सबसे अंत में क्या करोगे? And this king said, what kind of question is this? I would, sit with enjoyment and relax. That's it. I will sit in contentment. And Yogi said, why do you have to conquer half of the world to do it? I am doing that right now. I am contented right now. Whatever I have got, I am absolutely contented. So we do not have to conquer half of the world to actually get the satisfaction and contentment inside. The message of the yoga is that we could be happy, we could be in harmony, we could be blissful wherever we are. The moment we are in, we do not have to do any other journey to find the bliss inside. We could be absolutely contented, satisfied, comfortable with ourselves. without doing anything extra. And two of the small messages that I would share as the last thing for this discussion. In the Bhagavad Gita, when Lord Krishna is giving the definition of yoga, in the second chapter, he says, Buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukrit dushkrite tasmad yoga yujusva yoga karmasu kaushalam. Yoga is the excellence of all actions. When yoga descends to someone's life, you see the excellence in all dimensions of their personality, physical, emotional, psychological, social. All the dimensions are absolutely at the summit, absolutely at the perfection. And the reason we are unable to do that, because our energy is never available in the present moment. It's either hooked up into the guilts of the past, in the memories of the past, or into the fantasies of future. We are never available in the given moment here. When Shukdev, one of the great scholars of India, he approached Lord Krishna and he said that who is the perfect yogi in your opinion? And Lord Krishna said, in my opinion, the perfect yogi is King Janak. He was perplexed. He thought, how can a king be yogi? You know, there's Vasudhaiva and Vishwamitra, all these great sages are there. A king should not be yogi. So he said, okay, Shukdev then sent his disciple to check that what King Janak is doing different to achieve the yoga. So King Janak was having a normal courtroom. There were people dancing, other people were presenting their problems. So the disciple of Shukdev, he said, sir, how do you maintain yoga in such a chaos, in all these things? How do you maintain yoga? And Janak said that, okay, I will answer you in the evening, but right now I would ask you to go and see my kingdom. It has many monuments worth seeing. Go and have a look. But take one glass of oil with you. It's filled up to the mark, and if you drop one single drop, the soldier walking behind you would chop your head. He said, what kind of condition is this? So he went. He returned after 9 hours. 9 घंटे के बाद लौटा. Raja Janak said, King Janak said, what did you see in my capital? He said, I saw nothing. I was looking at the glass all the time. He said, that's how I maintain the yoga. Wherever I am, I know this can go at any moment. I am always available in the present moment. Wherever I am, I know that this thing is transient and it can be taken away at any moment. And my energy is fully available to that given moment. Param Pujya Gurudev, Pandit Shri Ram Sharma Acharya, he gave a very interesting metaphor in this context. He said, Har din naya janm, har raat nahi maut. Imagine that you are living only for one day. That if every day you wake up and believe that this is the only day given to me by the divinity and how best I can live that day, our energies automatically get focused to that present moment, to that present day. And that itself is a yoga. That itself is a wonderful way for everyone to follow to get their energy back into the present moment. So that's a small quotation that I can take from Gita and also from Param Pujya Gurudev that could be of benefit to everyone. And the last, actually, only thing I would say, that one thing that someone actually asked me yesterday, that there are so many paths of the yoga. Only from the historical traditions, we have got the Raj Yoga. In the Raj Yoga itself, we have got Samadhi Yoga, Kriya Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, then we have got Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga emerging from Gita, then we have got Hatha Yoga, and then we have got so many other disciplines, whichever is the right way to do it. So I just shared a story, and I'm going to end by sharing the same story, and a story of Maharani Holkar. She was a queen who became a queen actually at the very young age, and she was illiterate, never had the education, but she was a very fierce lady, very strong lady. So her advisors actually asked her when the kingdom was settled that she should learn Gita. And Maharani Holkar said, I am happy to learn Gita, but I am illiterate. Why don't you send some scholar who could teach me Gita? And he would say one verse, I would listen to it and contemplate. So the Pandit ji came and he said, Dharm kshetre kurukshetre samveta yujsava mamakaha pandavashaiva kim kurvat sanjaya. First verse of Gita, he said Dharm kshetre kurukshetre. And moment he said it, the first verse, Maharani Holkar said, stop, I have understood the Gita. He said, why? How come? Like, it's not even, it's the most negative character of the Mahabharata. Dhritarashtra is asking to Sanjay that in Dharam Kshetra Kurukshetra, my children and Pandava's children, what are they doing? Tell me, that's it. There is no serious message. The serious message will start coming from 2nd chapter, 6th, 9th, 11th onward. Right now, there is no important message. She said, no, say it again. So he said, Dharam Kshetra Kurukshetra. He said, stop. You are saying Dharam Kshetra Kurukshetra, and I am hearing Kshetre Kshetre Dharmam Kuru. Whatever region has been given to us, do the dharma, do the right thing. So whatever we are, whatever has been given to us, whether divinity has placed us in India or in Slovenia or in Croatia or in Belgium or anywhere, do the right thing. That's our duty. And all of us actually know whatever is the right thing to do. So if we follow the right path, that is the path of the yoga. If we do the right deed, that is the path of the yoga. And following that path itself brings the mental health, itself brings the harmony, itself brings the equipoise. So with those best wishes, that every one of you would return home with some serious message, some important message, and some happy memories of coming to India and also to Delhi. I would give rest to my words. Thanks for so patiently listening.
Thank you very much, Chinmay, throwing the lights on part of it and our duties, and understanding that reality as it is, not as it appears.